Hello everyone, I'm Swip92 and in this video I'll be covering some roguelite games that are coming out sometime in the future. These are a bit of a mix on the genre, but essentially they are all roguelite games, at least they are classified as such on the Steam page. All of these games have demos that you can try out, and I will be leaving links to each of the 5 games that I have on this list in the description. So feel free to check them out, but let's get to the talking. I know, talking, but let's get to the talking about the game, so let's get to it. First game I have here is a bit of a mix to me. It's called Guilt, the Deathless. It's categorized as a Souls-like, and in many ways that shows. Like mysterious NPCs, a world without any real direction or any story that you can follow. It's very gothic style as well, so I like that about it. It has a very unique style, and we get more to that in a bit. Combat is stamina based. Every attack needs to be calculated, you could say. Every attack drains stamina, so you need to check what attack when I use heavy or light attack, and where is the enemy, where am I, and so on. And especially when multiple enemies are coming towards you, I've had my fair share of problems when facing multiple enemies. The gameplay is fun, and I like the somewhat slow-paced combat that is more focused on timing and precision than just button mashing, like in many other roguelike, where you're just button mashing and dodging all the time. This one is more calculated. You need to know what to do at a certain instance. I mean, it's not like it's unforgiving in terms of in combat, but if you take a hit, it can really deplete your health. The graphical style is really nice as well, and the environments look really nice. I mean, the environments are very dark and broody and very gothic and very red as well. I love that. The enemy designs are really good, and these hands that were hooked to chains that looked like they were attached to the clouds really surprised me. I mean, I just have to mention them because they're such a cool enemy. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, that is I don't play many Souls-like Bloodborne and such, so this kind of enemy was very unique and very new to me, and I love it. What a design. I think we need more of that kind of design in games overall. And as it is a roguelite, I did however never got the sense of improvement though when I died. You know, you die and maybe you gather some points to upgrade your health, stamina, attack damage, crit and so on, but I never got anything of that. In roguelites, I love improving my character after I died, more HP and such, as I mentioned, is what makes the game good to me. It's essential to a roguelite game for me. Maybe I need to progress further, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to know more about this game, and I look forward to see what will become of it. I will also be making a follow-up video on this game that will be a little longer and go more into depth about the mechanics and such in the game, because there is so much to talk about that I can't talk about everything in this short little clip that I'm using in this video. Astral Ascent. Well, I played 3.5 hours the first time I tried the demo, so is that good enough to tell you what I think about this demo? I mean, I played 3.5 hours the first time I played, and I had a blast. It's 2D pixel graphics with beautiful animations, environments, and good sound and music, and I love it. I find little to no faults in this game. I did have some small issues with the enemies I thought were like a bit too powerful at times. But the boss, I did not defeat the boss who was at the end of the level. But he was a fair boss, though I did I got his health down quite a bit, but ultimately I died to him. It seems to have a decent story as well that ties all the characters and lore well together, including the dying part, which I love about roguelites when they do that, when they implement the death into the game in such a way that it feels like, yes, that could happen, that's how it should be, or that's how it is. Combat is fluid and is quite fun. The spells are great in how they are used, and I like the animations and the visuals of them, as well as the controls. They feel very intuitive and easy enough to learn. And they are not difficult to master, I would say. You just need to be lucky with the spells you get. So, because the spells are much like any other roguelites, they are random spells. It was a bit weird that the spells are in a wheel kind of thing. First you have that spell, and then you have the other, and then you have the other, and then you have the other. You can have up to 4 different spells, but they cycle between each other. But I believe you can remove, if you have one, you can remove it and then just use the other one that's after that, because each use of a spell depletes some mana that you need to get up, fill up again by attacking enemies. Though I did say that enemies are annoying, but at the same time that is kind of how they are supposed to be. As well as the boss, I did find him annoying, but not unfair, which is also a very important thing about a roguelite game. And I look very much forward to see what else this game will have to offer. I also got a more sense of progression when I did this game. After I died, I unlocked different things that could improve me, and could change the future runs, so that is well good. Running Rogue. This one is a doozy. It's a first-person runner parkour fighting game, basically, with roguelite elements. The demo is very short, so you only get a small sense of what the game will throw at you, as well as the different, I hope, the different environments. You only get one type of environment and one type of level to complete. But the level is random based, so it has some things are similar or exactly the same, but much of the game the level is random based. It takes some elements of that and then put it in another place than the run before, you know what I mean. So the art style, graphics, animations and combat is nice and feels really good. The combat actually felt more fluid than I expected it to be. It took some getting used to the controls at first actually, but I did try with both controller and with mouse and keyboard. And I have to say, I think mouse and keyboard is the way for me. I know I say this a lot as well, but the gameplay flows well. The basic attacks, air attacks, block, force push, and finger pistol? High noon as they call it, but finger pistol. It flows well. There is one thing though. I do wonder about about the roguelike elements, really. Except for the random generated levels, like I mentioned, I don't know what is roguelite about this game, as I've fallen down plenty of times, fallen down from the levels as they are up in the air, fallen down plenty of times, and I guess I died, I don't know, because I just respawned at back on top, not where I fall off, but close to it. There are no checkpoints as far as I know, but I just respawned up there on the level. I never got to restart from the beginning. So I guess I never died, because I'm not even sure where my health is. The white bar at the bottom, maybe? I don't know. But so far a good game, or demo, but somewhat confusing in how roguelike elements play into it I mean, it's classified as a roguelite, but I don't know what is roguelite about it, except for the random generated levels. But I guess that could be just it, the random generated levels. Maybe. I'm looking forward to seeing more of this game, though. This one is a bit weird. I'm not jelly. It's weird, I can tell you that. It's really weird. It has this story about an invasion and you fight back. No humans in this game, only whatever they are. They're not jelly though. We know that. Nice art style and animations. Very basic combat, doesn't do much for me honestly. The attacking is very basic. You have light attack and heavy attack. That's about it. The dodging mechanic is a bit more unique in how it works, as you basically become a puddle and just dodge under the enemies. And then you pop back up and you can actually damage enemies by popping up below them. It reminds me a bit of Splatoon. It was kind of fun, the demo, and satisfying to defeat the enemies, and there are passives you can get that improves your character health or attacks, like damage over time or heavier damage or higher damage. Higher crit chance, I believe, is also a thing. Works well to me, but there were problems I faced, like the dodging the first boss attacks was a problem. It's a boar type of enemy and it charges against you, but dodging that attack with the dodge is very difficult. Very difficult indeed. It either requires some very precise timing or is not possible. What could even be that I need to pop up below him. I did not try that actually. Easily fixed before launch though, of course, if that is the case. If you need to pop up below him, I can certainly see that. But if it can't be dodged, well, that is easily fixed. As well as the, I would say, mediocre combat. I also wish that combat was a bit more diverse in what I could pick up different abilities or weapons. Far as I know, you only have one type of weapon, which you bash and bash and bash. I can see this become a bit one-sided with that, the combat. Other classes will be available, as I understand, like other type of jelly things, like bigger ones and maybe a bit faster ones or something. I don't know exactly. I have to look into this game a bit more and look for other things. But I am intrigued by this game. I'm intrigued and I look forward to seeing more. That's at least something. Now, for the last game on the list, I've already talked about this one, so I'll be leaving a link in the description for that video, but this is Swordcery. And this is a game about swords. And sorcery. See what I did there with the name? But I want to give a shout out to this game again because it is up on Kickstarter. I will be leaving a link to that in the description as well if you want to see that. There are not many days left and I hope this game gets funded. It's almost fully funded, so I hope it will reach that. Excuse me. It's not scheduled for release until sometime in 2023 though, so keep that in mind. But the game looks good and it feels good in my hands. The controls are solid, the graphics are nice, the combat is very nice, and again, flows well. I really shouldn't find another word for that. Oh well. I like how the swords are basically the classes in this game. You pick up a big sword, you are slow, but maybe you are a bit more tanky. You can also choose passives that makes you different, of course, and things like that. So the game is very solid in that kind of thing, in the roguelike elements. It has random generated dungeons, enemies that are strong but fair, and environments that makes me want to explore and find new ways. And they are also a bit hazardous, just like a roguelike should be. Well, to me. The camera is a bit, what should we call it? Diablo type. It's above but slightly at an angle, and I think that suits this game quite well. Now, would be exciting to see what a third-person camera could do with this game, but as it stands right now, I like the camera. And I prefer to play this with a controller actually. So that is one thing you should see. There is, of course, a prologue demo if you want to try that out. Now, the game is also they there's one thing I want to point out before anyone maybe points that out. If you visit the Kickstarter, the game is for about $20. Now, the other tiers are a bit high, I would say. There are some things I don't like about the tiers, but the game is good. The demo is good at least, so I recommend checking that out. I've been Swip and I too. Have a great life, and I hope to see you in future videos. Bye bye.